Hi everyone, it's the EnglishSimmer here and welcome back to my channel and another video that is brought to you through the EA Game Changers program. So big thanks to EA for giving me early access to the brand new expansion pack so that I could make all of these videos for you. I don't know why I want to start off this video with saying will it replay. I've been watching too much Good Mythical Morning recently. Rhett and Link they've got me through 2020. I'm gonna throw it out there. Their content has been wonderful throughout quarantine. But enough of that, let's talk about Snowy Escapes, and in this video we're going to be discussing the replayability of the pack. So first off, the biggest concern for me when I watched the trailer of this pack and I found out the theme, and then also when I started playing through it in early access, was how many times can I watch my Sims do outdoor activities and find it interesting? Then I thought about like all the other packs we've ever had in The Sims, and it's kind of unfair to say like, oh, watching my Sims snowboard is gonna get like boring over and over again, because I don't think it will. I mean, Sims always repetitively do stuff. If you have an athletic Sim, they've obviously got to work out so much, so you see them lifting weights a lot. You see Sims cooking a lot. And yeah, it gets to that point where it's just like, okay, this is what they have to do. And it is also that point in Snowy Escapes, like if you want them to be a good snowboarder or you want them to be good at climbing, they're gonna have to repeat those actions. And also as you level up in skiing and snowboarding, you unlock more runs. So there are 4 different runs that you can do on the mountain, and in each of those they've tried to add like different paths that your Sims could take. I didn't really notice too much of a difference, but if you are really paying attention to it, then I'm sure you'd be able to. And also as you progress, you unlock new tricks. So they have tried to switch it up like here or there and also randomize the sequences a bit. It's a version of outdoor snow activities that we've never really seen before. In past games, when snowboarding has been introduced, we've just had like a half pipe that your Sims can do tricks on. Having said that, I will come back to that point because that also is a negative in my opinion, but we'll get to it. Also, when it comes to the snowy activities, one replayability factor that is great in this pack is the fact that toddlers and children actually get a look in. Oh my word, can you believe it? This isn't an adult simulator? What? So yes, toddlers can go sledging. They'll always need to go sledging with a teen or above. However, kids actually have a dedicated festival for them. They can also ski and snowboard. Yes, unfortunately, they can only ski and snowboard on the beginner slope and the bunny slope. However, it's nice that kids finally have an option to do something outside with the family. They can also go hiking with their fam. It's just nice to have them get outside and do something and have outdoor activities. I always complain about The Sims 4, one, not having enough outdoor activities for the whole family, and definitely being focused on drinking in bars or going out to clubs. I feel like we need more family-friendly activities to get our Sims out of the house, and this is a good pack for that. Also, on top of the outdoor activities, when it comes to climbing excursions, I really like that they made that an event. I think it gives you like tasks to do and you can focus on it, but it also allows you to like play around on the mountain as well because the timer isn't too quick. So I do really like the way that excursions work. Again, I was a little bit hesitant on the fact of how many times can I have my Sim climb up this mountain and still have it feel like a new experience, kind of like exploring the jungle in Jungle Adventure. Yes, the tasks are always similar. There's only a specific list that they choose from, so you're always going to have those specific tasks. However, you can unlock different items for how well you do and also for reaching different areas, so you can unlock certain clothing. And I also think sentiments make excursions fun. So depending on who you do it with, what you do on the mountain, and also how you do, gives you different sentiments, which I do think adds a replay value to excursions specifically, because it gives you a little bit of experimentation. You can kind of see like how you do with one sim over another, and I do also feel like those sentiments help you to steer your gameplay a little bit. So one of my Sims, as I was playing, he had to cancel out of the excursion, or I think they just failed because they had a woohoo at the top of the mountain, and then he was exploring the cave, and I accidentally ran out of time before checking it off. So they ran out and they had to cancel the excursion, and anytime he was around that Sim, he got really sad. He felt really guilty that he wasn't able to complete the excursion with her, and like kept asking her for reassurance. Also, I will note, whilst talking about sentiments, yes, technically they are a base game update and they will be coming with the base game update before this pack releases. However, there are some sentiments, for example the ones that you get from Excursions, that are exclusive to Snowy Escape. However, on the other hand of sentiments and how they can drive your gameplay, we get lifestyles, which are the exclusive to this pack, and that's where I'm scared about lifestyles, because them being an exclusive to Snowy Escapes means that we probably aren't ever gonna see them updated again. I said the same about apartments, and now we have apartments in Eco Lifestyle and City Living, so maybe don't quote me on that one. I think if they ever do bring lifestyles into another pack, it would have to be a few years down the line. I don't think lifestyles have as much of a replayability factor as sentiments do. To me, sentiments are way more interesting. They're gonna have more of an effect on my gameplay, because what I saw from lifestyles is your lifestyles depend on how you play, what you have your Sims do, the activities that they get up to, the hobbies that they tend to cultivate. And I didn't play with lifestyles a lot, so I'm gonna give this one the benefit of the doubt. I'm definitely gonna have to explore it more because they do take time to appear, and I didn't have enough time to explore, obviously, all of them, or really see like the intricate details, if there were any intricate details. So they were affected by how I played my Sims rather than affecting what my Sims got up to. I was kind of expecting them to encourage my Sims to do those hobbies or those activities that they like to do under that lifestyle, and I didn't really see that from my gameplay. However, I do like that these are dynamic. I like that they can change throughout your Sim's lifetime. You know, we're not these static beings. But I have to say, I think the biggest replay factor for me personally, and yes, this is technically a base game update, however, it majorly affects the replayability of this pack for me, is the fact that our Sims can now go on holiday and vacation in a rental lot in Mount Komorebi, because I'm gonna be taking my Sims here. I know it's not a destination world technically, however, out of all the destination worlds that we have, I feel like this is actually the most interesting. That's definitely a double-edged sword, because when it comes to Mount Komorebi, yes, it's really pretty. Yes, there's a lot to do outside. There's a lot to explore. There's a lot to see. It doesn't really affect the game. It doesn't really expand on the game other than being able to go on holiday there and to rent places out for your Sims who live in Willow Creek, for example. And that's because a lot of the activities are tied to that area, which I get. Like, obviously, the monetary value is in your Sims being able to explore Mount Komorebi. However, the climbing walls aren't available in debug, so you cannot add them to any other world in the game. You can't add the ski slopes to any other world in the game, even if you have seasons. Your Sims can't even go sledging, which I would have loved that. I would have loved if you could have been able to add like a little hill or something, like a snowy hill in any other world if you had seasons for your Sims to be able to go sledging. But again, that's difficult because then if you introduce something that then relies on having seasons that expands the game even more outside of Mount Komorebi, it's like, well, then it's like having a DLC for a DLC, even if it's 1 or 2 items. So I can see why the team probably decided to keep everything contained to this world. It's just a tough one, because when you think about it, you can see the logic in both sides. Like, I wouldn't want to stand here and be like, oh, Journey to Batu, you can't really do a lot of things outside of that world. And then it's kind of the same in this one, and then I'd be praising this one to the death because, like, I complained about that in Batu, so why wouldn't I complain about it here? It's just tough. I can see where the team are coming from, but also I would have liked at least a little bit of an expansion on the game other than being able to holiday here at any given point. And that point kind of takes me back to having the half pipe in previous games. I would have loved to see them take like some of the trick animations that they have for the slopes, add in a half pipe, like an ice half pipe or a snow half pipe, and have us be able to put that in a different world. So if we still wanted to go skiing or sledging and do tricks on a half pipe in a different world when it was snowy, we would be able to. And that leads me on to my next point where I really think this pack is lacking in replayability. I'm usually one to say there's not enough for my Sims to do outside or as a family together outside. And yes, Snowy Escape does introduce a lot of those things. However, it definitely misses out on having stuff to do at home. The only new thing that you can really do at home is have a hot pot together. You can't even take it to another Sim's house and have a group grab a serving together. I don't know why that doesn't exist. This could have been made different by maybe having another social event, like being able to have a hot pot party, kind of like how you can have a carver party in Island Living and just like celebrating that way with your neighbors. And I know it's all about getting outside, embracing the culture and embracing the weather, but it just feels like there's nothing to do at home, like quite literally. Your home is now just somewhere for your Sims to sleep and eat. I wasn't doing anything in my home because there was no new activities to do there. I would have really liked to be able to see playable Zen gardens. Yes, you can create your own Zen garden, and yes, if you have spa day, you can add a meditation stool down on the ground and have your Sims meditate in that built Zen garden, but you can't rake the sand, it's just a flooring. I would have at least liked to see like a rake interaction because obviously we have that animation in The Sims 4 Seasons. They could have just used that animation for the Zen gardens and have your Sims like rake the gardens. But no, it's all just really decorative unless you have spa day to add that meditation element. Also, there's loads of things in build and buy mode. There's a lot of tea cabinets and there's a lot of stuff that relates to tea. There's nothing to do with tea. There's no like playable tea ceremony. There's no tea set. It would have been really, really cute if kids could have finally got a tea set that they could play with, and it could have given them something new to do, like maybe have their teddies sat around a little tea set instead of just having another freaking drawing art activity table that we get in every single pack. You can buy canned tea in a couple of the vending machines, but it just doesn't feel the same to me. I feel like if you're gonna have objects that relate to tea and like so frequently in build and buy mode and have them as decorational items, it's weird that you wouldn't include any gameplay that embraced tea. And also the Izakaya, the bar that's included in the game, I actually had my Sim go there and there wasn't any like Japanese inspired drinks or snacks whatsoever. Like, yeah, you have the hot pot. There's also some new recipes when your Sim cooks at home. There are a couple of different recipes that you can make, but you can't purchase them at the bar, and you also don't have any Japanese drinks, which I find really weird. And finally, when it comes to talking about replayability in this pack, I was disappointed that there was only one actual career in this pack. I'll hold my hands up and say that the one career that we do have, the salary person career, is done really well. I think the team had some fun with it. So if you don't know, this is in reference to the salaryman career, which is big in Japan. Basically, white-collar workers usually work very long hours in their office job and are very, very dedicated to their career. And it's done really well. I really like the career. However, going from eco lifestyle to then going to Snowy Escape, like having one career that's also a rabbit hole career, so they just go off lot. There are fun choices that pop up, especially to do with like karaoke after work or missing the train home, so you have to sleep in a capsule hotel. Again, embracing the culture really nicely. Only having one career feels like a step back, even though it's done really well. I would have at least liked to see maybe a snowboarding, skiing, or climbing instructor career, maybe one of the ones that's like semi-active, so that you could work from home if you wanted to, or you could actually send those Sims up to the mountain and have them like teach people how to snowboard. That would have been sick. And that is where I'm gonna wrap this video up, because I feel like I talked about everything that I wanted to talk about. I feel like I covered all the main points of where I think this pack is lacking. I definitely feel like there's a couple of like missteps and things that I would have added in. I love the detail of this pack though. I have to say, I had a lot of fun whilst I was playing through it. I just seemed to get through the pack very quickly, and I think that's because I was obviously focused on getting the skills up so that I could show off as much of the pack as possible. I think it's going to be one of those packs that I'm going to have to like take my time with and play through at my own pace to really like feel like I'm enjoying it. But I definitely feel like the main replayability personally for me comes from now being able to go on holiday in this world. But it kind of sucks that it doesn't really expand the game in any other way than that, in my opinion. So let me know what you guys think. If you've watched other Game Changers videos, their early access videos, let me know how you feel about this pack. And I'm also thinking of doing a Q&A about this pack. I did a gameplay overview, I did create a sim, and I also did a world and townie overview. But if there's anything you think I've missed or you want to hear more about, leave your questions either down below in the comments. I also have a post over on my community page, so if you want to type in your question over there, I will try and get back to as many of you as possible in that video. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and once again, big thank you to EA for providing me with early access so that I could get a look at this pack, and I will speak to you all in my next one. Bye guys!